Alright, so before we get into this video, I have an announcement to make. It's now the day after Christmas and I wanted to do something for you guys, my subscribers. And I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something to give back to you guys for making this past year amazing for me. And I came up with the idea to gift out some channel memberships. I'll be going live this upcoming weekend on the channel, and at the end of the stream, I'll gift out some channel memberships to you guys. So I hope to see you guys there. Anyways, let's get to the actual video. Sasori is extremely underrated. I see a lot of downplay on Sasori in the community and I don't understand exactly why. The most common thing people will say is, oh, he lost to Sakura. But that's such an old argument that holds no weight in this discussion. Sakura had help from Sasori's grandmother, who was also a puppet master that was stated to have fought Prime Hanzo many times in the past. And Hanzo is stronger than all three of the Sannin in the Second Shinobi War. Lady Chiyo is someone who should also not be downplayed, even though she's past her prime. And with Sakura, who is also pretty strong at this point in the series. In fact, she's physically stronger than most characters in the series at this point. So you have a master puppet user who's controlling someone who's physically stronger than a large majority of the people in the verse at the time going against Sasori. And not to mention they have an antidote to the guy's poison, which is one of his most impressive things he has in his arsenal. Yet he still didn't lose to them. He let them win in the end. It's insane to me how this argument is even used against Sasori. But with that out of the way, we can go over how strong Sasori actually should be. So to begin his scaling, I think he's a heavily downplayed genius in the verse. Amongst the Sand Village, he's remembered as a genius that could control 100 puppets and has the power to destroy whole countries. His puppeteering abilities are further stated to make Kankuro, who trained his entire life to be a puppet master, look like an amateur. And on the same page in Databook 3, it stated that Sasori reached the limit of what he could accomplish with normal puppets. This is where he resorts to making the human puppets. Sasori's human puppets are an insane feat in and of themselves because they hold on to the abilities and chakra of whoever Sasori turns into the puppet, and Lady Chiyo, who was a more experienced puppet master, thought that this concept was unbelievable. And even then, it's not even his most impressive puppet making feat. He also turned himself into a living puppet, in the process making himself almost immortal, because if you hit anywhere on his body except his heart, he could just put himself back together. These are pretty much his most impressive feats when it comes to intelligence. You could also include his poison, which he does make himself. It completely numbs the body and leaves you unable to move if you're hit with it. You'll just basically be stuck on the ground, unable to move while you slowly die over the course of 2 to 3 days. It's pretty brutal. But onto his power scaling. For starters, Sasori is at least relative to Deidara, with Deidara explicitly stating that Sasori is actually stronger than him. This is impressive because Deidara himself is no slouch. He was able to solo the Three Tails and was easily on par or stronger than Gaara, when Gaara still had Shukaku sealed inside of him. Deidara admitting something like Sasori being stronger than him is something that should be taken somewhat seriously as well, because he's an extremely cocky character in general. And this statement is also backed up with other statements and feats performed by Sasori. Now Sasori isn't as brute force of a fighter as Deidara, nor does he have the same destructive capabilities, but he does have stuff like the third Kazekage puppet at his disposal, as well as being stated to have killed the third Kazekage. Whether or not he did this in a fair fight doesn't really matter, because afterward he easily surpasses the third Kazekage due to having access to his abilities and jutsu. So Sasori has the strongest Kazekage to ever live in his back pocket, and has the ability to use his legendary Iron Sand jutsu. On top of that, he embeds this Iron Sand with his own poison that, as stated before, is no joke. The third Kazekage is also stated to be the strongest shinobi of his time. This is a time where Tobirama was still around, so make do with that what you will. It should also be noted that the Iron Sand used by the third Kazekage is considered the strongest weapon of the Sand Village. This means that it outscales Shukaku, who is constantly stated to be a weapon of the Sand Village. This makes sense because the third Kazekage outscales the fourth Kazekage, who would subdue Shukaku on a regular basis, meaning that he would also outscale Gaara, whose sand could stop the fourth Raikage, who is also said and shown to have Biju level strength, meaning that Sasori, just based on having the fourth Kazekage puppet, should outscale the Biju and Jinchuriki, as well as all of the Kazekage and Deidara. Then you add his own puppet body as well as the 100 puppet army, and you have a shinobi that should be capable of easily beating a vast majority of the characters in the series. Stuff like this easily proves that he is above Deidara, and he is probably country level, just like the statement implies. I don't want to hear any more Sasori slander ever again. That's it for this video though. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed with that bell clicked so that you don't miss the live stream this weekend. Again, I'll be giving away some free channel memberships, so yeah, come stop on by. You have nothing to lose by doing that. But that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. Trippy out. I love y'all. Peace.